Hi everyone, my name is Julie. This is Keep Calm with Books and Coffee. I talk about books on this channel, mainly books about magic, and today we're going to see how I've done on my TBRs thus far in the year. So I constantly tell you all that I am not good at sticking to my TBRs and that I have to do a pile of possibilities in order to make sure I read something that I want to, but that I can't stick to a 5-book TBR to save my life. And today we're going to go over the first 4 months of the year to see how many books I did and did not read from each one of these TBRs. I was going to include May in this, but I decided that we will just do these in 4-month chunks and we'll just see how it goes. But the pile of possibilities do seem to work better for me personally. I like to have a bunch of options and then choose out of those options, and that is what I'm going to be doing for next month for June, even though I have absolutely no idea what is coming for us in Amazing Readathon, but I'm excited to see it. But you might see some new TBR choosing options from me soon. We're still trying to figure it out. Still trying to figure out the logistics of this. But anyway, let's jump into what I'm calling a TBR audit. So in January, I had 7 books on my TBR. They were Discount Armageddon, The Hunting Moon, Every Heart a Doorway, Forged by Magic, The Engagement Party, Protect the Prince, and The Foxhole Court. So I ended up reading 3 of these 7. The first was The Hunting Moon, then we had Every Heart a Doorway, as well as Protect the Prince. So those 3 were all completed, read, and I also read The Foxhole Court, but I didn't finish that reread. So I did start it, but I ended up putting that aside, so I didn't actually get that done. Libby took my audiobook, so I lost the game of chicken, and therefore I didn't finish my reread. Then we move into February, where I had 6 books on my TBR. They were Warrior Girl on Earth, Truly Devious, Crush the King, Say You'll Be Mine, Lone Woman, and A River Enchanted. This was for Battle of the Girl Bands, and I ended up reading half of these. I read Crush the King, Say You'll Be Mine, and A River Enchanted. And Truly Devious is going to be one that's on these TBRs a few times. It is one of my 5 self-destruct books, and I put it on a bunch of these TBRs, and I'm only currently reading it now. So it has been pushed and pushed and pushed forward, but we are attempting it at this point. Then we move into March, and March is much larger. I decided to participate in roll of reads, and I wanted to have a few possibilities for each roll, and therefore I put a lot of books on my TBR. So in total, I put 15 on the TBR, and instead of reading all of these out, I'm just going to put the graphic up for this particular month because it was a lot of books, and I intentionally only wanted to read about half or a third of these because I was just giving myself a bunch of options, and I only ended up reading 2. One of them was Ready or Not, and the other was The Honey Witch. And The Honey Witch I DNF'd. So really I only finished 1 out of this very large TBR. So I think I need to find that sweet spot of choosing about 5 to 10 books for a TBR and then picking from those possibilities, because obviously these 15 were too many. I forgot about them. I put them out of my mind and didn't even try. March and April were also pretty tough reading months for me, so I think that's probably part of it as well. Speaking of April, we had 7 books again on this TBR, and this was my best month, this most recent month, which is kind of crazy to me because I feel like April was a terrible reading month for me. So the books on the TBR were The Raven Boys, Heartless, At First Bite, This Could Be Us, A Love Song for Ricky Wilde, A Natural History of Dragons, and God Killer. So 3 of these 7 are ones that I did start during the month, but I haven't finished for one reason or another. The Raven Kings and God Killer were both books that I started a reread of and ended up annotating and trying to make notes in as I went, and they've been just sort of project books that I've been reading since April, so both of them are still ongoing. And then This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan was a book club pick for my book club last month. and I just didn't get this book finished in time for book club, and now that I don't have that deadline, I haven't been picking it up and reading it. So I'm about halfway through this. I just need to finish off the final half, but I've had other priority reads kind of cropping up in the meantime. So this is something I do want to finish, but I just haven't gotten back to. But if we are looking at the numbers overall, I have read 10 of the 35 books that I've put on TBRs. So I think this constitutes me saying that yes, I'm very bad at sticking to TBRs and I don't read to them very faithfully. These are always more pile of possibilities for me and my reading, and this was just an interesting exercise to take a look at and see how many of these books I have read. Most of the ones that I had to read for specific prompts or readathons or buddy reads, I definitely stuck to those, but anything that was a pile of possibility with multiple ideas or just like random, like in February, I chose something for each one of the prompts, but then I just went rogue. So it's not necessarily always something I'm good at. So I will keep trying with readathons and such, but I do much better if I seem to just kind of go with whatever I want to read. So we'll see if the pile of possibilities continue. I didn't used to do TBRs at all, but I kind of like narrowing my TBR down a little bit. Even if I don't end up reading these books, at least some of them end up, in the mix some way, shape, or form. So if you are a strict TBR reader, I'm very much a mood reader. I'd love to hear what you think about any of this. If you have any thoughts or feelings or want to share anything about the TBR process or how you pick your TBR or anything, please let me know down below. I'd love to chat with you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. And we will talk about TBRs again. All right, bye-bye.